Hi everyone. This is AU from Susan's family. Today I'll teach you how to make a Constellation Series Leo doll. This toy mainly consists of the main part and accessories. Start by making the main part. For the creation of the main part, please refer to the separate video tutorial on the plain body. After it's done, make the accessories. The accessories include the facial features, the hair, necklace, and the dress. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific making method. Let's start by making the facial features. Begin with the eyes, the nose, and the blush. First, make the eyes. Find the increase point from round 13. With the starting round facing up, count 13 rounds downward. Find this round. There is a section with 6 single crochets between the increase stitches on both sides. In the middle of these 6 single crochets, mark it with a pin. Then count upwards. And in the middle of the 4 single crochets in round 2, place marks on both sides. There are 4 single crochets apart between the 2 eyes. And each eye takes up 4 single crochets. Mark the position well. Let's start making this eye. Take a piece of black yarn. For convenience in watching, I will demonstrate with another color. Pull out 2 strands from it. Thread the needle. Insert from any position at the back of the head. Exit at the lower right corner of the eye position. Insert at the upper part of the left side mark. Exit at a position 2 stitches apart. Gently tighten. Pay attention to curve the eye slightly. Insert at the right corner of the eye. Exit at the left side eye corner position. Gently tighten. Let there be a section of overlap below the eye. Secure with glue. This completes one eye. Make the other eye symmetrically using the same method. Everyone can secure it with glue. Finally, thread the tail end to the back. Exit at the insertion point. Tie a knot with the starting yarn tail. Hide it inside the head. That's how you make the eyes. Next, let's make the nose. Position the nose one circle below the center point. Apply glue at this position. Attach a medium-sized pearl as the nose. That's how you make the nose. Finally, 3 circles below the eyes. Lightly apply blush near the eye corners. You can also determine the exact position based on your preference. That's how you complete the facial features. Next, let's learn how to make the hair. Take a look at the finished product. The hair includes the scalp, strands of hair, securing them in place, and hair accessories. The scalp and the rest are pre-made parts. First, finish the crocheted sections. Then secure it to the head. Lastly, attach the hair accessories. Let's start by learning how to crochet the scalp. The scalp begins with an adjustable magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Watch as I demonstrate the detailed crochet technique. Start with a magic ring. Then crochet the first round. Start with 1 chain stitch as the beginning chain. This is not spiral crocheting. You need to make a turning chain at the start of each round. The turning chain for single crochet does not count as a stitch. Next, work 8 single crochets into the magic ring. After completing this, tighten the ring. Then slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch. Finish by working a slip stitch to conclude. That means crochet into the second chain from the left yarn tail. 1, 2. It's this large chain. If you can't tell for sure, you can also count back from the last stitch to count the stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's still this stitch. Work a slip stitch. Pull tight. The slip stitch is not indicated in the form. In practice, it's not crocheting in spirals. Always finish by joining with a slip stitch at the end of each round. The slip stitch used for joining does not count as a stitch. You need to tighten it. This prevents accidentally crocheting too many stitches later. That completes the first round. Move on to the second round. Start with one chain as your beginning chain. For this round, pick up the front loops from the previous round and crochet into them. A stitch consists of these two strands of yarn. The strand closer to you is the front loop. The strand closer to the outside is the back loop. Below, pick up the front loop of the stitch and crochet into it, which is this single strand. Correspondingly, make a single crochet increase, place the starting tail of the yarn at the back for now, leave it untreated temporarily. After completing, you can check the stitch count. Then slip stitch join into the first single crochet stitch. That finishes the second round. Small horizontal bars will form on the wrong side. The starting tail of the yarn is brought from the center to the right side by crocheting. Then tidy it up following the texture. Trim excess tail. That completes the scalp part. Take the clearer texture side as the right side. When continuing to crochet downward, keep the right side facing you. After completing the scalp, start crocheting the hair strand. The hair strand has two layers. The first layer is crocheted into the second round of the scalp. The second layer is crocheted into the remaining half stitches of the first round of the scalp. The new stitch used here is double crochet, half double crochet. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. First, crochet the first strand of the first layer. Continue crocheting using the same yarn from the scalp. Start with 26 chain stitches. Dow 2. This means begin crocheting from the second to last stitch of the starting chain. Count backwards from the side of the hook. 1, 2. This is the second to last stitch. Insert the hook into the top loop of the second chain from the hook. Work one single crochet. Continue by picking up the corresponding line on the left side of the adjacent chain stitch. Match them up one by one. Finish crocheting the remaining 10 single crochets. Then crochet 7 double crochets. Let's start with the first stitch. Yarn over the hook once. Insert. Pick up one strand like this. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over first. Pull through the first 2 loops. There are 2 loops left on the hook. Yarn over again, and pull through. 1 double crochet is done. Move on to the second double crochet. Yarn over. Insert. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over on after another. Pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. Repeat this step twice. 1, 2. Double crochets complete. Continue crocheting the remaining 5 double crochets. Then work 1 half double crochet. Yarn over. Insert. Yarn over again. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over once more. Pull through all the loops on your hook. 1 half double crochet is now finished. Next, make another half double crochet. Then correspondingly crochet 5 single crochets. Then on the left side of the scalp, work 1 slip stitch into the adjacent stitch. Pull tight. The first chain is now completed. Continue with the second chain. Refer to the table and crochet the corresponding number of chain stitches first. After completing it, start from the second to last stitch, and crochet the corresponding stitch pattern. Once done, in the adjacent stitch, work 1 slip stitch. Pull tight. The second chain is now finished. There are 14 more chains to go. Follow the same order used for the first and second chains. Repeat the process 7 more times. Refer to the earlier demonstration and table for guidance. Complete all of them. After finishing the last chain, end with a slip stitch at the starting position of the first chain. Take a look, everyone. This is what the first layer of chains looks like when completed. Continue with the second layer of chains. First, locate the circle of small horizontal lines on the wrong side. On the corresponding small horizontal line below, work 1 slip stitch. There's no need to tighten the slip stitch. This brings the yarn to the position for the second layer of chains. Refer to the table for guidance. Each small horizontal line corresponds to crocheting 1 chain. The method is the same as for the first layer of chains. Refer to the table and the earlier demonstration. Finish crocheting them. Everyone, take a look. This is what the second layer of chains looks like when completed. Finally, leave a 5 cm tail, and cut the yarn. Tuck the yarn tail following the texture. That concludes the explanation of the chains. Next, secure the hair above the head. Make sure the wrong side of the chains faces up. In other words, the second layer of chains should be on top. Choose any one short chain from the first layer, directly facing the face. The center of the scalp aligns with the starting point of the head. Use pins to secure them temporarily. Attach the first layer of chains closely to the head. Roll up the strand directly in the center of the face. Secure it in the middle. Take the next adjacent strand on the right side. Roll it up. Pin it down securely. Then take the next 3 adjacent strands. Twist to the right. Roll them together. Glue it on the right side of the blush. At the corresponding position, use glue to set the shape slightly. After curling the tail, use glue to set the shape slightly. Take the first strand on the left and follow the forehead to the left. At the corner of the eye position, secure it in place. Then take the 3 strands of hair adjacent to the left side, twist them together, roll it up. Glue it at the corresponding position on the cheek. After curling the tail, use glue to set the shape slightly. The remaining first layer strands should be neatly arranged at the back. After determining the position, secure the strands where they attach to the head with glue. The tail part does not need to be secured. Let it curl naturally. Use glue to stick and secure the positioning points. After securing the first layer of strands, proceed to fix the second layer of strands. Take the strand on the right side of the front. Roll it up to the right. Match it with the position of the curled strands below. Secure it with glue. Twist and glue the strand on the left side using the same method. Overlap the remaining strands on top of the first layer. Make sure to glue them securely. Pay attention to the reserved naturally curled parts below. This completes the fixation of the hair. Next, we will attach the hair accessories. They are the Zodiac symbol, pearl leaves, and the crown. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific installation method. First, take out the Leo Zodiac symbol. Apply glue on the wrong side. Attach it to the center position of the curled strand on the front side. Mind the direction of the symbol. Press it securely. Then take out the pearl leaves. Glue them along the left hairline. In the middle between the two curled strands. The leaf should be on top, and the pearl underneath. You can also adjust according to your preference. Finally, attach the crown. First, take out the corresponding yarn. Pull out 2 strands, thread them into the yarn needle, and set aside for later use. Take out the crown. Align one of the beads so that it faces directly below the constellation symbol. Place it properly. Use the sewing thread to secure the inner circle of the crown to the hairspring. There's no specific requirement for the method, just make sure it's sewn securely. Finally, remove the pins. That concludes the assembly of the hair accessory section. Now let's make the necklace. Cut a segment of the remaining yarn tail from the head section. Pull one strand and thread it into an appropriately sized gold needle. Make sure the needle can pass through the seed beads. Start by threading 22 seed beads. The exact number of seed beads can be adjusted according to your preference. Then, thread in one large white pearl. After completing, tie the yarn tails with a double knot. Ensure the necklace has proper tension. Thread the yarn tail through a bead to hide it. Trim off the excess yarn tail. Secure the other yarn tail in the same way. That concludes the explanation of how to make the necklace. Next, we will make the dress. The dress is divided into two parts, the fabric piece of the dress and the decorative accessories. First, crochet the fabric piece of the dress. Then, attach various decorative accessories. Let's start by learning how to crochet the fabric piece of the dress. The dress fabric piece is divided into the skirt body and sleeves. These two parts. Start by crocheting the skirt body. Then, crochet the sleeves. Let's begin by learning how to crochet the skirt body. The skirt body starts with a chain ring method. Crochet in rounds. Leave space for the armholes while crocheting. The new stitch used here is the FB double crochet increase. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Begin by making a slip knot and forming a circle with the first slip stitch. Start with 30 chain stitches. Then work one slip stitch into the first chain stitch. Note: make sure not to twist the chain stitches you just made. You can ensure all the chain stitches are facing up. Align the beginning and ending this way. Place the starting yarn tail above the ending yarn tail. Insert the hook from the outside to the inside through the back loop of the first chain stitch. Work one slip stitch. Pull tight. Gently pull the starting yarn tail. After completing, check again to ensure the chain stitches are not twisted. This will form a flat circle. That's how you complete the starting chain. Now move on to the first round. First, make one chain stitch as the turning chain for the single crochet. The turning chain for the single crochet does not count as a stitch. Next, pick up the half loop at the top of the chain stitch. Work one single crochet into each stitch correspondingly. Pay attention to weaving in the yarn tail. Continue working all the way around this round. Note that the first stitch goes into the insertion point of the slip stitch. After completing, you can check the stitch count. Finally, finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. That completes the first round. We will consider the side with clearer texture as the right side. Now move on to the second round. Start with one chain stitch as the beginning chain, then work 4 single crochets. Make 2 chain stitches. Skip 7 stitches below without working them. From the left stitch, correspondingly make 3 single crochets. Add a single crochet increase. Work 4 single crochets. Then make 2 chain stitches. Skip 7 stitches below without working them. Work 4 single crochets. Finally, finish with a slip stitch. Turn the piece to the right side. This will create 2 armholes. The second round is now complete. Move on to the third round. Start with 1 chain stitch as the beginning chain, then work 4 single crochets into the corresponding stitches. Reach the position of the previous round's 2 chain stitches. Here, pick up the front loop and work 2 single crochets. Continue working single crochets into the corresponding stitches. Work until you reach the position of the 2 chain stitches. Continue picking up the front loop and work single crochets. Follow the chart for the remaining part. Finally, finish with a slip stitch and pull tight. The third round is now complete. After completing the third round, you can try fitting the fabric onto the main piece. Insert it from the top. Ensure the fabrics are close together. If it's too loose or too tight, adjust your tension and crochet again. For rounds 4 to 10, work single crochets evenly into the corresponding stitches. Be mindful not to forget to make the beginning chain and slip stitch at the beginning and end of each round. Refer to the table and the previous demonstration and complete these rounds. Next, move on to round 11. I will continue demonstrating with this sample swatch. The sample has fewer rounds and stitches for simplicity. It's only used to demonstrate the technique. Refer to the table for the exact stitch count. This means all stitches in this round will be worked into the back loops of the previous round. FV stands for double crochet increase. Now, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain for the double crochet. The beginning chain counts as 1 double crochet stitch, corresponding to the single crochet below. Then pick up the back loop of the adjacent stitch on the left. Work 1 double crochet stitch. Continue by working 1 double crochet increase stitch below, that is, work 2 double crochet stitches in the same position. This completes the double crochet increase stitch. The 3CHFFV is now done. Then continue with 2 regular double crochet stitches and 1 double crochet increase stitch. Repeat this process 6 times for this round. For the remaining 5 repeats, follow the method of 2 double crochet stitches and 1 double crochet increase stitch. Finally, join with the third chain of the beginning chain. Pick up these 2 strands and work 1 slip stitch. Tighten. That completes the explanation for the 11th round. Next, we will work on the 12th round. Refer to the chart. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. The beginning chain counts as 1 double crochet stitch. It corresponds to the stitch below. Then work 1 double crochet stitch in the adjacent stitch on the left. Note that this stitch might look slightly puckered. Don't skip it. When working the first stitch of the next round, don't skip this stitch. I won't remind you again about this. Then work 1 double crochet and 1 double crochet increase sequentially. That completes the 3CH2FFV section. Following that, repeat the pattern of 3 double crochets and 1 double crochet increase 6 times. Finally, join with a slip stitch at the third chain of the beginning chain. Tighten. This concludes the explanation for the 12th round. For rounds 13 to 31, refer to the chart below. For each round, start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Then pick up the stitch and work a double crochet. All the stitch techniques used have been demonstrated in detail earlier. The meaning of the increases and decreases explanation is similar to before. You just need to follow the stitch order in the table, repeating the corresponding number of times. In the table are 2 331, 3CH, 8, 3F, means starting from round 23. After making 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain, 1 chain stitch corresponds to 1 double crochet. Each round has 83 stitches. Continue until the end of round 31. When crocheting, don't forget to join each round with a slip stitch connection. Follow the table to complete these rounds. Then move on to round 32. I will continue demonstrating using this small sample. The sample has fewer stitches and rounds for simplicity. It's only for demonstrating the method. Refer to the chart for the exact stitch count. This round will be crocheted into the front loop of each stitch. First, continue with this yarn and make 3 beginning chains. Then, on the front loop of the previous round, work even without increasing or decreasing using double crochets. After completing the last double crochet, fasten off. Start by working 1 slip stitch. Do not pull the slip stitch too tight. Then stretch the loop. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail before cutting the yarn. Starting from the second stitch on the left side, draw the yarn tail through. Then, from the center of the slip stitch chain, pull the yarn tail to the wrong side. This keeps the braid texture consistent on both sides. Finally, weave in the ends on the wrong side. That completes the explanation for round 32. Continue to crochet round 33. Start by joining the yarn. Take the corresponding yarn, make a slip knit. Insert the hook into the slip stitch spot of round 31. Pull the slip knit through. Adjust the loop size. Pay attention to keeping the knot hidden. Start with 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. Begin from the adjacent stitch on the left side. Pick up the back loops of round 31. Correspondingly, make double crochets. Complete this round. Finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. That concludes the explanation for round 33. The stitch patterns for the remaining rounds are in the table. They have all been explained before. Everyone, refer to the table. Refer back to the previous demonstrations. Continue crocheting the remaining part of the dress body with this yarn. After completing the last double crochet stitch, use the same method as round 32 to fasten off. That concludes the explanation for the dress body section. Next, we will crochet the sleeves. I'll demonstrate using this small sample. The actual dress body has already been crocheted. Here, I'm only demonstrating the technique. First, take the appropriate yarn. Make a slip knot. Place the side with the slip stitches as the wrong side. Face it downward. At any of the 2 chain stitch positions on either side of the sleeve hole. Pick the chain stitch on the left. Pull it as a single strand, and draw out a slip knot. Adjust the loop size. Start with 1 chain stitch. Then, crochet 1 single crochet into the corresponding position below the chain stitch. Be sure to weave in the yarn tail. Next, at the connection point between the chain stitch and the stitch, pick up the 2 strands in the middle like this. Work 1 single crochet. Now we've reached the skipped stitch position. Pick up stitches, corresponding 1 by 1. Crochet 7 single crochets. After completing, pick up the 2 strands between the chain and the stitch like this. Crochet 1 single crochet. Finally, pick the chain stitch position and work 1 single crochet. Then join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. The starting yarn tail has already been woven in for 1 round. You can cut it directly. The first round is complete. The stitch patterns for rounds 2 to 15 of the fabric are quite simple. After completing the 15th round, break the yarn. Refer to the table to finish it. Below, I'll demonstrate round 16 using this sample. I will only demonstrate the method. You need to switch colors. Crochet in the back loop of the previous round. First, take the corresponding yarn. Insert the hook behind the knot and join a new thread. Then, refer to the chart and crochet the corresponding stitches. Continue all the way down until you complete 18 rounds. After finishing, you need to weave in the ends. Work 1 slip stitch. Do not tighten it. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail. Next, at the second stitch on the left side, tuck the yarn to the wrong side. Then draw the yarn through the center of the slip stitch chain. Smooth it out a little. Weave in the ends. The other sleeve is worked in the same way. Everyone can follow this method. Crochet the other sleeve using the same technique. That concludes the explanation for crocheting the sleeves. Decorative accessories include lace decorations, lace trim, bows, acrylic rhinestones. Let's start by attaching the lace decoration. The lace decoration is divided into the sleeve section and the dress body section. Let's begin with making the sleeve part. I'll demonstrate using a small sample. The actual fabric pieces for the dress and sleeves are already crocheted. Here, I will only demonstrate the method. First, take a length of about 50 centimeters of the corresponding yarn material. Pull out 2 strands. For convenience in watching, the color of the small sample is random. Thread it into a sewing needle and set aside for use. Then take out the lace fabric. The side where the gold thread is clear and distinct is the right side. Place the fabric with the right side facing out. From one edge, find the part with the star pattern. Adjust this part to the front end of the sleeve. Near the cuff section, fit well to the size of the sleeve. Both ends are 0.5 centimeters longer than the sleeve. The beginning and ending overlap by about 0.5 centimeters. Cut the fabric. My sample here is already cut. After completing, wrap the cut fabric around the sleeve. The right side of the garment piece should face toward yourself. Then adjust the star pattern to the cuff. The position on the right side. The lace trim is 0.5 centimeters longer than the cuff. You can also adjust the pattern's position according to your preference. After adjusting the position, secure it with pins. Then use a darning needle, following the edge where the fabric overlaps, and sew with a backstitch. Start from the color change at the cuff. Moving toward the shoulder, sew the 2 layers of fabric together with the sleeve. When sewing, leave 20 centimeters at the starting end. Pay attention to smoothing it out as you sew, so the fabric stays flush against the sleeve. Make sure not to sew through to the other side of the sleeve. Once done, one edge should be tight against the shoulder, and underarm should be snug against the body part. Follow the insertion point of the first round along the sleeve. Sew using the same method. Once completed, tie a knot. Then thread the reserved sewing line into the needle. At the color change position on the cuff, sew around once with a whip stitch to secure the lace trim part of the fabric. Be careful not to sew through to the other side of the cuff. After completing, tie a knot. Break the yarn. If there is a lot of excess fabric remaining, you can trim it slightly. This completes the lace decoration for one sleeve. Everyone can follow the same method to symmetrically create the lace decoration for the other sleeve. That concludes the explanation of the lace decoration for the sleeves. Next, let's move on to making the dress body section. Take the yarn in the same way as for the sleeve decoration, and thread it into a sewing needle for later use. Then lay out the dress fabric piece flat. Take out the lace fabric, with the right side facing you. Align the lace trim with the edge of the fabric piece. Starting from the top layer of the skirt hem. Extend upwards to the waist. Leave a distance of about 4 rounds. Secure it roughly with pins first. Cut off the excess part at the top. Then count 7 petal-like patterns on the fabric. Add half a petal more. Keep this pattern area. Cut out a rectangle shape. This is what the sample swatch looks like after cutting. Now turn the fabric so the right side faces you. Overlap the beginning and ending by half a petal pattern. Align them properly. Then take a sewing needle, and sew just to the left of the overlapping area, stitching vertically. Insert the needle from the lace trim side through the aligned fabric. Skip a short distance and exit from the left. Then go back a little and insert the needle again. Make this distance a little smaller. Then on the wrong side, make the gap slightly larger, exit from the left again. Go back and insert the needle with a slightly smaller gap. Pay attention to tidying up the fabric as you sew. Keep the pattern aligned in the overlapping area. Continue sewing like this until you finish the overlapping part. Tie off with a knot. You will end up with a tube shape. Once done, place the dress fabric piece into the sewn tube. Adjust the fabric. Ensure the seam is positioned on the side. On the right side, place a strand of gold thread above the stars. Align it directly with the middle position of the fabric piece. Secure it in place with pins. Then move to the right. Gather the fabric into pleats as you go. Keep it close to the waistline. Use pins to secure the lace fabric. Pay attention to distributing the pleats evenly. Continue all the way to the middle of the front side. Once completed, take out the basting stitches along the waistline. Sew through the spaces between the single crochets and double crochets to secure it in a circle. Be mindful not to sew into the other side of the dress. After completing this step, leave 0.5 centimeters of length at the top for color 2. Trim a little. Next, on the side edges, where the fabric overlaps, follow the outline of the gold thread in the lace pattern. Trim on the outer side. This completes the lace decoration for the dress. Now let's attach the lace trim. There are 3 places here for the lace: the shoulder parts, the waist, and the hem. Then proceed with the installation in order. I'll demonstrate using a small sample. This is just to demonstrate the method. First, take out the diamond lace trim. Fit it against the length of the dress collar on the right side. Cut a section. Press it lightly to prevent fraying. Use glue to attach it along the collar edge. Secure it slightly to form an arc. Pay attention. Make sure the lace decoration on this side of the sleeve covers the stitch marks. After completing it, use the same method for the wrong side. First, fit it well, then cut and glue it. Cover the stitches. Once done, if there's any excess on the shoulder part, trim it down accordingly. This completes the shoulder part lace border. Next, take the wave trim. Fit it closely around the waist and compare. Leave about 1 centimeter at the overlapping section. Cut it off. Press it. All the remaining lace trims need to be pressed as well. I won't repeat this reminder. Then glue it on with adhesive. Pay attention. Place the seam at the back of the dress. The lace trim covers the sewing part of the lace decoration. This completes the waist lace border. Lastly, take the wave trim. Fit it closely to the bottom edge of the fabric piece. It goes on the upper layer of the skirt hem. No need for overlapping here, just make sure the beginning and ending fit tightly together. Cut the length that you've measured and matched. Then use the glue again. Attach it securely. Press the connection point firmly to ensure it's fixed well. That completes all the lace trim work here. Next, let's make a bow. First, take the ribbon. Tie a bow knot. Adjust its shape properly. The width should be about 3 centimeters. Leave approximately 1.5 centimeters at both the beginning and ending. You can also adjust according to your personal preference and the dress dimensions. After completing, trim the ribbon edges. Then glue it onto the right side of the fabric piece, at the central part of the top. You can also make adjustments based on your personal preference. That's how the bow is attached. Finally, attach the acrylic rhinestones. Take out 4 acrylic rhinestones, 2 of each color. Place them along the lace decoration of the dress. Directly below the bow, there's a gold thread. Glue it vertically and evenly. Colors, quantity, arrangement positions can also be adjusted according to the finished product or personal preference. That's how the acrylic rhinestone decoration is completed. Lastly, dress the toy neatly. When putting on the dress, you can lift the main piece's arms upward. Thread it from the top down, then attach the head. That's how the doll is completed. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.